heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check. I got the message on me, ain't no flexing on me, my attorney gon' call and collect. Blessings on blessings for me, my successes only made them envious, they got upset. I had to put all their egos in check. I want the money, the power, respect, and I heard you know so-and-so, you not a threat, cause I really know so-and-so, they like my family, so they go pretend that they cool till they bust at your motherfucking chest. I'm getting gutter, my flow been like butter, my check in the bank, they see the number. All of my haters feel one of two ways, really upset or they show some respect. I can't even think about it, I've been up, so read about it, no beat around it, straight to it, no ring around it. You coming for me, we'll see about it, we'll never see it when I get my feet up. 100 meters where I run the fee up, and go for king and nine, I'm on a pia. I had to re-up on a reel, so you stay defeated, and put it back into the bit, cause I don't really need it. I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check. I got the message on me, ain't no flexing on me, my attorney gon' call and collect. Blessings on blessings for me, my successes only made them envious, they got upset. I had to put all their egos in check. I had to put all their egos in check. You're not entitled to anything else. I get 10 years of this under my belt. Your art is an art, they don't feel it, and nobody hears it. And this should stay on the shelf. Your ego done got in the way. It gotta die today. It gotta go. You should be happy I lighten the load. The weight of your arrogance, heavy as stone. I make an appearance, they already know. That chip on your shoulder gon' crumble and fold, yeah. It's not a secret that you have been fearing the shit that I'm on. So you back to the brag and the boast. But I'm in a class of my own. I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check.
Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Drone Brews, the very last episode of Drone Brews. That's it. This is the last episode of Drone Brews. Thank you so much for joining tonight, Wednesday. It's always been a fun time to stream. Got with me my co-host Eddie.
What's up?
Good? What
What's
is
going
good,
on?
man? What is good?
Nothing much, man.
That's it, man. Last episode.
Yeah, that's
it. This is it. We're going to be moving on to something new, something different in the coming weeks. But this is the last no, for reals, this is the last episode of Drone Brews that we're going to be airing. And we're going to be moving on to something new entirely. Very soon. We'll announce more in a couple of weeks, but we figured this will be the last of that. I need a break from streaming for a couple of weeks. I'm sure Eddie, you probably would like a break from streaming for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna come back. We'll come back in a few weeks with something new and different. It won't be called Drone Brews. A little bit of a reason why I want to change the name is I feel like Drone Brews, there's like pressure to have to drink, and I'm trying to get healthy, trying to stay healthy. So we're going to change the name, change the format. It's going to be a lot more exciting, a lot more fun, and it's also going to be interactive. So we'll talk more about that when we get closer. We'll do some teasers of what we're going to be doing. So, but I think that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. We'll get a break. We'll come back, re-energized and with something fresh, all new.
Yeah. I mean, we're still gonna be you and I, but I've been thinking about it. Like the whole reason why I started Drone Brews was because of the pandemic. 2 years came and went. Pandemic sort of subsided right now. Like, it's like people are going back to work. Like you can interact with people again. So, we're just gonna change it up, but I want something a little faster, like sort of like the Rundown, like on ESPN. I've always been a big fan of the Rundown, so we're gonna have something like that. And then there's also gonna be the interactive side. I also wanted to tie in Friday Night Flights into these live streams because I thought that would be pretty dope. To have like an interactive thing where people can submit videos and then just have one big sort of like hour-long episode, but it's interactive and fast. So that will be coming up very soon. Give me about 3 weeks time. I'm still finalizing the graphics and everything. So once we're done with that, we'll announce it and then we'll have a teaser when that's going to air. It'll still probably be the same time. I think 9 o'clock works for most people because it's a good split between East Coast, West Coast. So I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so that'll be definitely coming up soon. Got a little bit of to discuss, lot to talk about. There is some interesting video circulating right now of DJI drones in Ukraine and Ukrainian soldiers. Looks like one of the guys, I don't know, they say it's a grenade, but it looked like he was shelled on. They're talking about aeroscope is becoming a bit of a detriment for the soldiers. It's a hazard. I don't know how true that is because there's a lot of ways to track a drone beyond just DJI products, but DJI does have a software called Aeroscope.
Right.
There's claims that the Russian army has something set up at Chernobyl and they're able to track these units. I think that's pretty scary if that is the case and they're using these units against them like that. That's pretty freaking nuts. But Drone XL posted a video on that. The only problem I have with this video that's going around is the timestamp in the lower right corner. Did you notice the timestamp in that video?
No, I didn't.
So it says 1509 2016.
So it's an older video.
It looks like an older video, but it's definitely a grenade or whatever is being used, but it looks like an older video. So I don't know how it's relevant to this conversation in a sense, but I mean, unless if that's wrong, I don't know, but it looks old to me. 2016. I don't think anybody caught that in that group either, because in the commercial group, nobody made any mention of the timestamp in the right hand corner. But that's the first thing I drew my eyes in was a timestamp.
That's interesting.
So sort of interesting. Um, sort of a weird situation because you've got civilians utilizing these drones to do sort of reconnaissance. And you got people, military obviously utilizing these drones, and DJI is the leading provider when it comes to UAS, just across the world in general.
Yeah, I can see if DJI is definitely taking sides, right, and what's going on this and that side of the world, that's definitely will backfire on DJI.
You think it will though?
I think it will when you think
But
about.
is that a direct effect? Is that a direct, like, because they can't control how these things are being used. They can't control how aeroscope's being used. I mean, they sell aeroscope for deterrence, obviously, in certain locations. We even have it here around airports.
Right.
Do you think that?
Right. But I think unless it's rumors, I think that
I think there's a lot of rumors happening.
yeah, what I've read is that they're sort of manipulating Aeroscope so that it benefits one side specifically. So it's not equal on both sides.
Yeah.
And if they're guiding it so that Aeroscopes benefits, Russia, then think about every major corporation that has pulled out, and think about how the United States have kind of influenced that decision of pulling out as well, and how that will affect us here in the States.
Yeah,
That could be.
that's a good point because I've never personally got a chance to see how Aeroscope works. I don't know the communication back and forth or where that data is transmitted. I would imagine it stays within itself. It might be self-contained, but then again, I don't know. Never have seen that. I know that there's different deterrents when it comes to drones, but they're making the claim that they're weakening that, benefiting the Russian army, which I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, it's a lot of he said, she
I
said
know. I
things
know.
happening, and it
Yeah.
sucks because you have the largest manufacturer sort of, you know,
Caught
in
caught in the middle of this.
caught in the fire of it. Essentially, poor
Yeah.
choice of words, but they're sort of caught in the middle of all this.
And there's a lot of things that's being said. I mean, I was reading an article, I forget where, because I've been reading all over the place, but it was definitely like a news source article, right? Like a credible source. And they were saying that they like, in Ukraine, they even asked DJI if they can unrestrict like all the geo zones, right? So that they can just take off and fly everywhere.
Yeah.
And DJI straight up denied that according to this media that I read.
I don't think they have anything to win, by taking any sides. I think they want to stay neutral. You know what I mean? I think as a whole, they just, they're at the mercy of the user, the end user, right?
Yeah.
So they don't control who buys their product, right? And who are they to really say, yes, you can buy it, no, you can't buy it? I mean, it's no different than what was happening over in the Middle East, where all the DJI drones were being used to create, basically bombs. They can't control that. People are buying them. They're misusing them. They really don't have, um, much say in it. So
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, there's a lot of misinformation happening with all of this. Not
yeah,
just with everything that's happening over there, not just drones specifically. It's just a lot of misinformation, and we're not there to really validate that. But
yeah.
I
I just
think
think it's interesting.
time will tell. I mean, time will definitely tell.
I had an interesting question asked of me. It was weird. It came through on Facebook. Somebody asked me, and it was like something I never even thought about. I'm trying to find the question the guy asked me because it was just such a weird, weird question in regards to DJI in general. And he had some concerns that he wasn't going to be like, we weren't going to be able to get DJI products soon if there was interference. And I was like, no, there wouldn't, that wouldn't happen. But more recently, I think that that's something that could potentially end up happening. I'm trying to find the question he asked because it was like, damn, like I
I
didn't
mean,
even think of that.
yeah, if this turns out to be any factual data, I can see where the United States will influence imports or sales over DJI drones and
Yeah.
try to kind of ban that. I mean, we already have conversations of them ending up on, what is that, the entity list and all sorts of
Yeah,
other
but
things.
I think those are more formalities because nothing stopped. I mean, the only thing that's ever been really I've seen sort of blacklisted from being imported into the country, being sold commercially has been Huawei. That's been the only thing in recent years that I've seen, like fully blacklisted as a tech product, right? Huawei
Yeah.
laptops, Huawei phones. I mean, that was the only thing as far as communications go, which I mean, people still get them in and they're manufactured. They're all manufactured in the same fucking plant, to be honest with you.
That is true.
They're all
But
manufactured in the same place. So no matter what you do, it's the same shit. I mean, maybe this twists their hands to move their manufacturing outside of China. That would be my hope anyways. That would be a great move for them. Korea, South Korea, that would be a great place to manufacture drones.
yeah, I didn't even look at it that way. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had a Huawei product in a while. It's funny, my cousins, they had Huawei phones and they would talk, they were like, "Oh, I don't trust iPhones. I don't trust iPhones." But they're using Huawei phones. I always found that really ironic and funny. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens with this. I'm monitoring. I've been searching and scouring information the past couple of weeks, sort of just seeing the temperature of things. I think we'll be fine. And with the upcoming releases that are going to be, we're like in tech season, right? Like tech season is coming up, like that
Mhm.
second wave where companies are putting out laptops, hardware, GPUs, all that's going to be coming up. The last thing anybody wants to do is slow that sort of e-commerce side of life down. They're just not because there's too much money on the line to interfere with that. I think so. I think that as far as
Yeah.
imports go, I think it's going to be okay. I don't see anything where DJI would be in danger. I do see the prices going up though. I do see prices going up. That upcoming Mini 3, I saw that the purported airframe was sort of teased. They say it's
Yes.
the airframe of the Mini 3. Really
Yes.
can't see much difference. Like if you took apart the Mini now, I mean seems like there's some subtle differences, but I can see that being like $700 at least.
It's definitely going to cost more.
Yeah.
And, the more I see those leaks, I think the more there will be a Mini Pro, and
Do
we
you
will
think there'll
see
be a
that.
Mini Pro?
I think so. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I think it'll be more expensive than whatever Autel came out with, right? The
I don't think
Nano.
see that's where I don't think they would go more expensive. I think it's almost like a smack in the face to Autel to bring out a product that is superior and cheaper just because they have that manufacturing power. Like they have the power to manufacture faster, better, cheaper. They can bring out a product that is just much more superior at a faster rate than all these other manufacturers. I saw a comment too the other day. It said, "Oh well, Autel and DJI are made in the same plant." Not true. No, they're not. They're definitely not. They're made in two separate plants, and it's apparent with the build quality and the quality control coming out of both camps. It's sort of interesting, but
Yeah.
I'm dead set on that. Like I'm hoping for that'd be great for a Mini Pro. I hope that it's a drone with like zero compromise. I really do. but something tells me there's going to be somewhere where they hit it with a cripple hammer. It's just inevitable because it's so small.
Yeah, and they kind of have to, right? So,
But
so
do
they
they
don't.
have to? But do they have to?
I think so. So they don't sacrifice sales on other products, right? The Air 2S line, for example, you have to keep that alive. You have to keep the Air 2S alive.
Yeah, but it's like I feel like for them, money's money, right? If you're making money on Air 2S, you're making money on Mavic 3. That doesn't matter where it's coming in. They don't care. It's still money coming into the same bank. It would be different if they had like for instance, like when you think about like automotive manufacturers, you have like Nissan and you have Infinity,
Infinity.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like if you're funneling one to kill the other brand or whatever, I mean, it sort of comes through the same pocket, but you have different chains. So I think that would be where it would hurt. I
But
don't
I
know.
but I think that the way DJI built their ecosystem, it's kind of like you graduate. You start at a mini, then you go to an Air 2S, then you become a little bit more proficient on that Air
Yeah.
2S, and then you want more, and then you go to the, Mavic 3, which
Y-
is
the reason why I don't use the Mini is just because it lacks so many features. Like it's capable, it's cool, but it's like if you're going to go traveling, what would you grab? I would probably grab the Air 2S first and foremost, just because it's small, it's consistent, it works. But I would love to have a drone that was like under 1,000, $700, $800. So if I went and traveled abroad, and let's just say they seized my drone, I arrived at a country,
Mhm.
checked the rules before I got there, and I get there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we no longer allow drones. We started this rule yesterday. Well, you checked the rules a week before." Like, look at that
Yeah,
one. I saw
yeah,
in one of the groups, somebody flew into Dubai and they seized his drone
I
upon
saw
entry into
that.
the country. So,
Yeah,
and they said, "Well, if you don't have a waiver and you don't have a pilot license, you can't fly here." And
yeah,
they took his stuff. I don't know if you get it back when you leave. My guess is probably not, but that's pretty cool. That would suck. That would suck.
yeah. You're right. I would love to have a drone that was like my burner drone, like my risk
A
it all
burner
drone,
drone. Burner
Yeah,
drone.
like a burner drone. Burner
Terrible
phone,
name though. Terrible name, a burner drone. Like we talk about it like it's a burner phone.
like a burner phone. Yeah, exactly. Like you're gonna risk it,
Yeah.
It's the one that you take risk with.
But that's how I felt about the Mini. Like the Mini was always like that little tool that you just didn't care what happened. It could take a hit. I mean, that's all I ever used it for was those risky shots that I would never use anything else for. Like that's what the Mini's for. I feel anyways.
Yeah.
It'd be it'd be cool to see them do something like that. We'll have to wait and see. I tried flying the Nano the Nano Plus today, and God,
It was, having
shit.
issues too?
Well, it's like every time there's a firmware update,
Oh,
it takes 30 minutes per battery. Per battery. Like it doesn't just update the battery firmware, it wants to go through and redo the entire firmware. So by the time I got done, I was like, all right, flew a pack. And then I said, well, I'm gonna go up again. There was this like some jet skis coming, and I was like, all right, cool. I'll get real low and get these jet skis. 30 minutes, jet skis were gone. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
jet skis move fast too.
I was
Would
like, and you couldn't defer the battery firmware because I remember it. I updated it on one battery, but I still had two more batteries. And it didn't dawn on me that the battery firmware would change and that it doesn't let you take off if the firmware mismatches, it won't let you take off, which is sort of a pain in the ass. 'Cause it's just
Yeah,
battery firmware.
yeah.
Like
Well,
it's not gonna knock it out.
now that we're talking about firmware, there's 2 things that I wanna kind of share
Yeah.
or discuss with you. Did you receive a Mavic 3 firmware update that quote unquote fixed GPS? There's been a lot of posts out there. I don't have it on mine.
I didn't see it. I was flying it today and I didn't see it. But then again, I'm on the smart controller.
Yeah,
Um,
you have to connect to
is there a
Wi-Fi.
firmware update? Did you check yours?
I didn't see it, but so some people are getting it. If you look at the
Really?
Mavic 3 Facebook
Let me
group,
look.
yeah, yeah.
I figure now's the perfect time to check it out because I would be stoked, man.
So
I
yeah,
would be
uh,
I would be very, very happy if it fixed the GPS slowness because today was another prime example. I waited around for like 6 minutes the first time. Now the second time it was fast. It was very fast. But that's like doesn't that make you believe like it's not firmware?
yeah, it's
Because it's
probably
like it's
software
always
related.
fast that second time around. It's
Yeah.
always fast that second time around. Like I get a very quick lock. It's like like I took it out of the back out of my box today. I had 18 satellites very quickly. And I was like, wow, that was fast. But then, again, I had just flown it like maybe 15 minutes ago. And I just went over to another location, which was not very far from the one I was just at. Um, but that would be cool if that is, in fact, I would have thought I would notice that because I usually tether off my phone. So let's see if that is.
I didn't have it. So the one guy actually posted the screenshot on his smart controller, and it's the next firmware, like .5, like oh
Okay.
03 or whatever it was. And it just said that it fixed bugs. They didn't really say like
Well, I don't
what it
think they're going to
enhanced.
admit that. You think they're going to admit, say, oh, it fixes GPS, or you
No,
think they're
no.
going to put one out and say and see what people say?
Yeah, I think they'll just put it out. They'll never admit
Yeah.
to that. They'll never admit to that wrongdoing where it was wrong out the gate.
So what is the firmware number you're saying?
It was like .5, whatever the late is, but they added like a 3 at the end.
Yeah, because mine
.5003.
is 001.00.0500.
Okay, so the one I
And
saw is 503 at
and
the
if
end.
I'm checking the version now, and I'm not seeing any update
Oh,
right now. So that's a bit of a bummer. Yeah, no, it's not showing me any update. Maybe in a few days,
yeah, maybe.
unless I don't know. Maybe he was on a beta firmware. I don't know.
Beta, right? Maybe. Who knows? Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't see them being specific with that. Like that's one of those things. Like you don't want to admit you're wrong. Like it took them forever to just. It took them forever for them just to get to the point where they're like, yeah, okay, the GPS is not as fast as the other drones we released. So it
Yeah.
took them what, 3
Months.
months? 3 months to
Too
yeah,
long.
too long.
Definitely too long.
Too
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
Too many people had to bitch and complain for that to happen. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
The next opportunity I see with DJI where they're messing up with firmware, and that happened locally here as well, and I'm starting to see a trend, is the DJI FPV. So they have
So what did they do with that? I saw
so
Maztec
Madtex.
talking about that.
Yes, I didn't really watch his video. I saw the title. He said that they have like a stealth firmware update where it's updating behind the scenes, if you will. I don't know how that works,
How would
but
it update behind the scenes?
yeah, I have to watch his video to really find out. But he was mentioning that it goes back to that. Remember when we were having that issue where if you did the firmware update and you didn't have the DJI FPV, then you can't switch
Oh
to the regular FPV.
yeah. It was like locking you out.
Yeah, so that's back.
Really? That's so stupid.
Yeah, but more importantly, there's something happening where it's updating the firmware on your drone, but not on your battery, right? Because
Okay.
you know how the battery has to update as well.
Yeah.
And because that's happening, you're not able to arm your FPV drone ever again. And,
Really?
and even if you refresh the firmware on your FPV drone, it's
Oh
not
man.
refreshing the firmware on the battery. So you have to go get a new battery. That's the only resolution.
So are they going to exchange those batteries out, or they're just gonna be like, oh hey, just buy another $160 battery?
You know how it is with DJI and batteries.
It's such a
It's
but I've had good luck with DJI and batteries. I've been able to successfully get them to warranty out like 6 batteries way past that point. I
but
mean, it takes a little bit of finesse and it gets harder with each battery.
I was gonna say it's after numerous
Yeah.
escalations. I mean, like a Twitter post, an email, countless of calls,
You
threatening, right?
gotta go batshit crazy. But you can't go 0 to 60 fast. You gotta be like sort of diplomatic. You gotta like sort of escalate your anger as you go through the different channels.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
but
don't drop the F-bomb ever because that's never gonna get you anywhere with them. They'll hang up quick, and then you gotta restart the whole escalation over again, which sucks.
yeah,
Man, that stinks though.
that's happening. I mean, a buddy of mine here locally, Stevie Capture Life, he was flying with me and he couldn't because and we couldn't figure it out. There was no errors on the screen. We were trying to figure out, and finally he figured it out on his own. And I'm starting to see more of a trend online as
Yeah.
well, where people are saying, "What's going on with my quad? It doesn't arm. Just the lights keep blinking red, and it won't give you an error message, and it won't arm."
So my thing with the FPV drone is I've never updated. Like I've updated like when we first got it and we were having some problems and then there were some issues with the smoothness. I updated it. And it was like I haven't updated it in months and I never connected to the internet. So I wouldn't know how it would even try to update if you're not You know what I mean? If you're not connecting it to a live source, it shouldn't update,
Yeah,
right?
and you
That's my thought.
right, and you should have to go through the process where you consent and allow it to update. It doesn't auto update on its own.
See, I
Not that
want
I
to
think
pick
of
up
it.
another. I'm picking up another set of goggles because I refuse to bind my goggles to the FPV drone because then I lose the binding for all of my air units. And some of the Cinelifters, it's a pain in the ass to get to the air unit to rebind it. So if I fly the FPV drone and then I go back to fly my Cinelifter, I now have to rebind the goggles to the Cinelifter, which is so stupid. It should be able to keep that, and at the very least, I feel like they should have allowed us to save models to the SD card, right? You have that
Yeah,
ability there. If the goggles don't have enough onboard storage, allow us to save those bindings to the SD card. Like if you don't want to record anything like video to the SD card, at least let us save the models to it. It would have made life so much easier. But they didn't do that, which is a pain in the ass. And that's one of the reasons, like one of my biggest complaints with that and why I wouldn't. That's why I ran two sets of goggles for a while. But I haven't flown the FPV drone in a hot minute. Like it's been a while. It's been a while since I've flown
yeah.
it.
Late for me lately, that's all I'm flying is the DJI
I,
FPV. Like I'm doing those long range,
yeah, you're doing
like
long range stuff.
cinematics.
I mean, I just I built long range quads and I'll fly those and that's enough for me at that point. But I just won't. I refuse to connect them because I'm not going to go through that. It sucks, man. It
Oh, that
sucks.
when I picked up the DJI FPV, is when we had the shortage of goggles, right? And people were buying the DJI FPV just to get the goggles and then selling
Yeah,
the quad. I almost sold my version ones, but when I found out that you have to go through
I
that
fucked
consistent
up.
binding issues, I was like, "Oh no, I'm keeping both."
I would have imagined by now DJI would have put out a new set of goggles, right? Like they have such an opportunity here with HD0 just completely screwing up. Their product is good, right? It's good, but it's not great. DJI is so leaps and bounds more advanced in that regard. You had an opportunity to put out like a slim set of goggles and they've just gone ghost. They've just gone ghost. There's so many people that fly digital. Like I think digital is pretty dominating nowadays.
Yeah,
You could have put out a really solid set of goggles, like, a little low profile, slimmer, and they could have charged 600-700 bucks and people would still pay it. I'd pay it because
absolutely. Yeah, because
I'm a sucker for slimmer goggles. Anything that's lighter on the head, I would have bought.
yeah, I agree.
It's really frustrating. It's
They
really
built
frustrating.
they built the reputation for digital, so they already have that
Right.
market share.
Right. I mean, I would have loved to have that. I mean, I don't know. I wish they would do that. Part of me feels like they've just given up on the digital project. Like this, like the goggles we have are going to be it. But then what I find is like all of a sudden they'll shock you and they'll come out with something else, or they'll turn it over to Caddx and say, okay, well, Caddx is coming out with a set of goggles that is running the DJI software, but it's a Caddx goggle, which I'm okay with that. If you want to
Mhm.
license out your software to somebody else, I am all for that. Go for it. As
Yeah.
long as it continues on with the same quality or better.
And you know
Totally.
what? The DJI FPV goggles is probably the longest product that hasn't received a refresh by DJI, right?
Yeah, no, because they work. They work really well. I mean, they're good. They had some problems. Like I had some gripes when I first got them. The first thing I had to do was change out the foamies. I had to put the actual
Yes.
foam in there. And Pyro Drone sells a foam that is so comfortable. It's even more comfortable than the foam that DJI sells. Like, that foam, like the one
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
sell to OEM.
yeah.
Pyro Drone sells something similar, but it has a spot for the nose so it prevents light leaks.
Mm.
Wow, it's really good. It's really good. Probably my favorite foam of them all. So I would highly recommend checking that foam out because I was like, at first I was skeptical because I've bought some of those off-brand foams before and they just didn't work like what I thought. But after trying theirs, I was like, damn, this is good.
Some are very bootleg. I go flying with my guys here. I see they have like wrinkles in their foam. And I'm like, that's not even real foam. Like, what are you
Not any real
wearing?
foam. Do you think this firmware update is related to DJI drones being used in Ukraine via NFC mod as means to hamper usage against the Russian military? Um, I don't. I wouldn't think so. I mean, but then again, not seeing the underlinings of the firmware, you just never know. But I think that a short answer would be I think DJI would have more to lose by doing that and lose integrity. So I don't think they would risk integrity to do that. I just don't think it's not their war to fight, and I don't think they're going to do that. I just don't think they're going to do that. Like I really don't think that that is for them to do. Long and the short of it, I really don't. I would hope not. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that that is not it. All right, so Eddie, we got a giveaway tonight.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so Russ from 51 Drones hits me up on Twitter and says to me, he goes, "Hey, I have a Tyrannus X7. It's a white Tyrannus X7. It's brand new, and I got a set of Fat Shark Scout box goggles sitting in the boxes. They're sitting in the boxes. They're brand new. I want to give them away. I want to give them away."
That means one thing only. Russ attempted FPV, and he was like, "This is not
he
for
attempted
me."
it. He gave it a valiant effort, and he just said, "You know what? It's not for me. I don't have a friend that lives close enough that can get this set up." I guarantee you, if we lived in the same vicinity, he would have been addicted. He would have
Yeah,
been addicted. I would have
yeah,
had him hooked. I would have had him hooked. He would have lost his
yeah.
job and everything.
Because with FPV, you definitely need to have a buddy system. One
You
who
got to
can
have a
guide
buddy
you.
system.
Yeah,
You
one
have
who
to have a
can
buddy
guide
system.
you, give you, coaching, help you repair, and
Talk
then
you
like,
off a ledge.
yeah, exactly.
You know, I know who my buddy was when I first started. I had Mike from Accelerated Heights, who sort of like he fostered me into the hobby, and he answered all my questions and helped me out and talked me off of a ledge when I would destroy stuff. You know, he's like, "Ah, this is just par for the course." But as you start growing, you get more of those friends, and then it just becomes like an orgy bad habit.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it.
So we're doing this giveaway tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna do the giveaway tonight. So I would say, how would we give this away? What's a good question that we can ask that an audience member would have to? I got to switch this over to live chat so that way we can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first person that can tell me what popular YouTuber recently fucked up $10,000 worth of drones in 60
Oof.
seconds wins the
Oof.
goggles.
That should be an easy one.
That should be a freaking easy one.
And I hope it goes to someone that's actually going to use it.
Let's see. Surger Arced.
Yep.
Ken Heron.
Yep.
So, Surger, go ahead and I would say do this. Go ahead and DM me a way that Russ can reach out to you, and you win the goggles in RC. Just like that. Boom, done. Easy.
Yep. That was easy.
That was easy. So, Surger Arc, be sure to go ahead and shoot me an email. My email contact information is there, and I can forward it over to Russ. I think that was pretty easy. Now, it is US only, so if you're not in the US, we will have to redraw. So just wanted to make mention of that. And if you're not in the US, I'll send you something besides that because it's US only.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I didn't make mention of it. I'm really bad with this shit. So
Well, congrats.
because right now trying to shipping internationally is a shit show.
Oh yeah, you was going.
I've been having one hell of an issue shipping internationally.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's even worse now too.
So, oh yeah, it's just things take forever to get to locations like, and you know, one of the bad things about Etsy is it only allows you to ship via USPS.
Oh, that's the slowest.
And it's the slowest method. And then what happens is when it leaves the country, you don't have
a way to continue to track.
Yeah, continuous track. Hang on a second. Wait a second. Brad Henderson said, "Redo it, OriginaldoBo. Pretty sure I had that first." Let's go back up and look.
Let's see.
Did he have it first? I'm seeing.
No, on mine, I'm seeing Surger.
Yeah, that's on live chat. I'm seeing Surger as well. But I need confirmation that Surger is here in the United States. So can we get confirmation of that? I'm going to go to his channel and just take a look. This doesn't have any content. He's been here since November 20th, 2014. Just need some verbal confirmation here. Oh, he's in Arkansas. He's in Arkansas, Eddie. Doesn't get any more U.S. than that. There we go, Russ. There we go, Russ. Russ is over here like, woo! Domestic shipping. Russ is like, yeah, woo! Okay, yeah. Russ even confirmed it was it's Seeger, not Serger. Seeger. We suck at names. So congratulations, Seeger. You're gonna get to go down the rabbit hole of FPV and good luck. It's fun. There is an awesome group on Facebook called Beginner to FPV. So if you don't know anything about FPV, I highly recommend you join that group, Beginner to FPV. It's super easy to find. And everybody in that group is really super helpful. There's a lot of awesome information. And the best part is it's like the Planet Fitness of all groups. It's a judgment-free zone, which is pretty awesome. So definitely do that.
Is that where the gym you joined, Planet Fitness? And that's where it came from, or?
Yeah, that's where I joined Planet Fitness. Okay. I did join Planet Fitness. I did join Planet Fitness. It is. The rabbit hole for FPV is just so sick, man. So sick.
It is.
It's like, oh man, I have boxes everywhere just for stuff. I have boxes for batteries for the North Carolina event. I haven't even unboxed batteries, and I'm hoping GemFan shipped me out some props. So they made me a custom set of Freestyle F4S props. It's going to be the only props in this color. I have 200 sets of these props. They will not be retailed anywhere, and they're going to be Dobo blue. He said I can give some away if I want. So I'll probably give some once I have them in hand and get the chance to see what they look like, because he said they look freaking amazing. Maybe I'll give a couple of sets away. I got to keep some because that's what I'm gonna basically be flying. But yeah, it would be cool to see them manufacture and do that color like as a new color offering. They can call it whatever they want as far as where they sell it or how they sell it, but I think that would be cool. Because I've always wanted like a blue color. I was never really like a fan of like the 4S colors. Like I always felt like they were sort of drab. So these are like really bright though. So these are bright as shit. And I like them, dude. Now that they fixed all the problems with them, like that's all I've been flying, dude. That's all I've been flying is 4S props. I buy the gray ones because the mango just doesn't fit the vibe. The peach doesn't fit the vibe. The jade is cool, but it's still not blue enough. So yeah. Blue is going to be good for me. I'm stoked. Johnny 5 says he down for some Dobos.
It'll be sick.
Dobo blue, dude. Dobo blue. It's going to be pretty awesome. It's going to be pretty damn cool. So I think that'll be awesome to see. But yeah. So next week, no stream next week, and then we'll do another stream in 2 weeks from there. And then like all this is going to be different. So we'll do this entirely different. We'll have it. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to have like a ticker, like a topic ticker. So we stay on. One of the things that I see people complain about is with live streams, they have to go back. And if there's no timestamps, it's hard to watch an hour-long stream and find all the information you want. So with this ticker that's going to be on the side, it'll make it easier for us to let somebody who's watching the stream navigate it.
Right.
Navigate it. It'll be easier. So it's going to be pretty dope.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
I'm pretty stoked. I'm not sure if we're going to still use Restream or not. We probably will. We probably will end up using Restream, but we'll see. But yeah, so still no firmware update for this. That sucks, man. I was really you got me excited, Eddie. Don't do that.
It's out there. Watch. I'm gonna send you examples of posts online.
Dude, if you send me posts of people talking about the Mavic 3 running new firmware that fixes the GPS, I'll be stoked, man. Because that to me is, whew, you don't even know how happy I would be. I mean, this has been doing good. Like, I haven't really had too many problems with it recently. I did have a weird issue the other day. I was flying over a golf course and the screen, like the RC Pro, just completely froze up, glitched out. And
Yeah.
then, 20 seconds later, it came back and I was like, all right, that was weird. Have you had that happen?
No, no, but I had a different weird experience
What's
recently.
that? What was your weird experience?
I was doing some night flying and on my last battery,
Yeah.
my SSD said like severely. It's like the language that they use can kind of scare the shit out of you. Is it
Okay.
said like severely fragmented? Please format ASAP. And I'm thinking, well,
Really?
this is yeah on my SSD for the Cine. So I'm thinking like this is my last battery. I have like close to
Ooh.
how much like I have like a lot of footage of what I was recording. I'm like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
format. And then I was like, I was scared. I'm like, not scared, but I'm like, did I waste my time? Because now when I get back home,
Yeah.
like, will
Is
I
it
be able to
corrupted?
right? Will I be able to
Yeah.
retrieve my footage? And I formatted it, and then the error went away. But that's scary.
A JP Tula says, I heard that you should not update your DJI FPV stuff. Any input on that? I would suggest you check out Mad's Tax video. He went a little deeper into that. But basically, they're talking about it sort of regresses some issues that we saw when the FPV drone first come out. And the other thing is, it sounds like it's bricking batteries.
Yeah.
So that's the end result is the new firmware sounds like it is bricking batteries. So if you don't want to brick any batteries, don't update. We'll have to see if DJI addresses that. I'm sure they will. Like the last thing they want to do is deal with like a shit ton of battery warranties from a firmware. Like that's the last thing. But I think the vast majority of FPV drone users are probably not going to know if there's an update. If you don't connect it to your phone, you won't know. I never fly the FPV
So,
drone with my phone, so I never worry about it.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
But
the only time you do have to though is when you're inside of authorization zone, and it
yeah,
will not let you take off or go into manual
Woo!
mode
If you got
unless.
that no limit drones, you don't got to worry about that.
Does it work on the FPV
It
drone?
works on the FPV.
Oh,
Removes the altitude limit. Removes it. Basically becomes a true FPV drone.
I'm
Other than the
gonna
fact that if you hit a wall, it's gonna die.
I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna definitely. I had a
Bro,
buddy
it
text me
it
today
works,
about that.
man. It works as long and you haven't updated, so it's gonna
Oh,
work. But dude, I mean,
oh
you
wow,
you can send it to the moon if you wanted it to. So all the people complaining they couldn't mountain surf because of the height restriction, that's gone with that.
oh wow. I'm
Yeah, that's
definitely
that's
gonna look
that's
into that.
that's that's totally gone.
That's sick. I mean, that's dope. I hate that. Sometimes I don't have an iPhone cable with me, and then I can't fly.
Javier said, "Bro, I just seen the Ken video."
You want to talk on
Yeah,
that, or
yeah, we can talk on it, dude. I mean, I
I, I'll give you my impression on that.
what was your thought on that?
So, I mean, I when I heard about this, I had to go look and watch the video for myself, and
Yeah,
then like I don't know. Like first, I have two sides of this. It's if that was my drone, like
yeah,
it's an expensive drone. Like, am I gonna let someone use tape to tape on another drone and just fly it without knowing like the consequences of what can happen? I mean, nothing good happens when you do stuff like that, and it's not like
yeah.
a controlled environment. If it's yours and you want to risk it, fine. But if it's somebody else's equipment, like don't just that's I think that's the problem. Sometimes and I experienced this when in my early YouTube adventure is collaborating with people and like, yeah, here's my gear. Oh wow, yeah, and thinking that I'm gonna get that fame back,
But
but you don't
but
gain anything from.
collaborating and using is two
That's
different
true.
things. Collaborating would be me and another creator formulating a plot to a video, working on a video together versus just a viewer saying, "Hey, you're that guy I watch on YouTube
Yeah,
and I'm going to let you go ahead and do this."
that's true. That's
There's a difference as far
yeah,
as
yeah,
collaborating
yeah.
goes. That's
The,
that's my
the second piece for me is that I find it odd how they can at the end of this laugh it off because I tell you what, Ken, if I give you my drone and you do that to
I
me,
mean, what
you
what
better
what
believe you're
what
gonna
what
replace
what are you
my
going to
drone.
do though? Like what are you going to do? Like I
We're
mean,
gonna be fighting. I mean, if
oh,
you
oh
if
yeah, for sure. But I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, like when shit happens like that, like all you can do is just sort of step back and be like for instance, when
But I'm
Billy
not
let
gonna
me,
sit. But I'm
when,
not gonna sit in the living room and laugh it off and drink tea with you.
well, I'm not asking you to. I don't drink tea anyways, but it was a similar story. Like when Billy let me fly the FPV drone and I smacked that thing
That's
down into the concrete. Now,
that was
granted, I
awareness.
didn't break it, but what if I would have broke that? What if I would have broke that? That day would have been a very different day. That would have been, but that's collaborating.
That's true.
That's
But you would have.
collaborating.
But you would have. You would have done the right thing at the end of the day. I know
Oh,
you
dude,
would have done the
I
right
would
thing.
have,
Yeah.
I would have.
In
It's going
this
to come out of my pocket. It's going to come out of my pocket.
in this scenario, just based on comments that he has shared previously, right? I mean, I remember a situation when he said, if someone's gonna crash their car, I'm gonna record it, right? Or something like
Yeah.
that. Or I'm gonna take advantage of that. Like, I don't know. I don't feel confident that at the end of the day, the person was taken care of for their error.
There's few people like I've seen situations like that occur. Like like one rings to mind where I think it was Artco. It was Sean. Sean was flying Artco drone crashes it into a fucking lake. Like super freak thing. But but Sean made good for it. He gave Art another, he's like, here you go, here's another drone. Like,
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on how tight you are with that person, I guess.
Yeah.
Like my thing is,
But in that situation, we're not talking about like a mini or an air, whatever it is. We're talking about a matrice that's about $8,000 with a
yeah,
Mavic
yeah,
3. I
I
mean,
think, yeah, like $9,000 for the Matrice 210, I think,
yeah,
without payload.
you're talking about some serious money there.
That's a heavy bitch too.
Yeah.
That's a heavy bitch. I mean, but I don't know. Like personally, like me, I probably wouldn't have shown. Like I wouldn't have shown that. Like, but then again, like,
That's the other
oh,
aspect of there. It's like, this is now, that's now published and publicized. It's
yeah,
you're benefiting from someone's loss at the end of the day.
yeah,
Again.
yeah, and yeah. Let me tell you. And then because I was watching the videos, like, oh yeah, DJI knew who I was. The person on the other end of that phone has zero control over what happens with the billing. That is just a person who's answering the phone. That's just a person who's answering the phone. And I would say it like this. Because I'm 95% confident is that if they knew who he was, they would be sending him drones, right? They would be sending him drones, right? He would be on that influencer list of people who are going to be part of a rollout, be part of a release. They would know that. You would have a point of contact. You'd be considered a KOL, which is key online influencer, and they would be sending you that product. Now he's got a pretty large following. I mean, I would say, but still, like, I don't see them taking care of that like quite like that, which sucks. I mean, I hope they do. I hope they do for the guy's sake, because fuck, that's after the dust settles, that's a shit ton of money.
Yeah. And you're right about that, where the person that's answering the phone is just the intake person who's creating your case.
Right. That's just
Yeah.
tier one. That's the tier one. That's the triage people. That's like
Yeah.
when you go to
They're-
the ER,
yeah.
they take
Their
your blood pressure.
their metric is probably that survey. How
Yeah.
satisfied were you? And they're gonna make you feel so good about your disastrous event. And then you send your drone in, free shipping. Then here it is. It's gonna cost you $8,000 to replace. Then what?
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, oh, were you following standard operating procedure? Well, yeah, absolutely. We strapped the Mavic 3 on the bottom of a Matrice. That's standard. No, it's not fucking standard. You don't do that. But the hypocrisy of it all was, they were fucking sort of losing their mind. and I recall, like, he fucking trashed on Builder Drone Reviewer a couple years back for doing something similar. And I was just sort of like, you fucking hypocrite. I just
Yeah.
call it like I see it, and I give zero fucks because I know, like, my audience bleeds over to his audience, vice versa. I give zero fucks. I call it like I see it, and
That
it's just dumb as shit.
that drone was taking off though. That shit was going to the moon.
To
I
the
mean,
fucking moon, bro. To the moon.
Eventually would have hit the ceiling cap, and then I guess it would have tried to return
Could
anyway.
you
once it ran
imagine
out.
if that hit that cap or just kept going? Like, it's funny. It is funny though. You can't deny that it is. it's comical when it happens. It is comical when something like that happens because all you can do is laugh. It's like falling out of a tree when you were a kid and you hit the ground so hard it knocks the fucking wind out of you, and all you're doing is laughing because it hurts so bad, but all you can do is laugh. That's the equivalent to that right there. That's the equivalent is falling out of a tree and just letting the wind get knocked out of you. That's the equivalent to losing, $8,000.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
that hurts too.
I'm not gonna
That
lie,
hurts.
I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah,
I was laughing my ass off, but then when the dust settles, you're like, yep, that was somebody's shit. But you know what? There was consent. There was consent.
right.
Right?
Yep.
He consented to it. You knew it. You knew what you were getting into when you signed up for that shit.
Yeah. That's a valid point.
I mean, but
There's
like,
gonna be
it's like Claude Dobbs says. Yeah, it's funny as long as it's not your drone. That is true, but you can't help but feel bad. And again, could something worse have happened? Yeah, maybe, but did it? No. And unfortunately, you can't play your cards after they're dealt. So,
right.
I don't know.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure he's probably going to pay for that one.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's going to pay for that one twice over. If I'd imagine. Hopefully they'll fix it. Who knows? We'll have to see. Maybe he'll do a follow up on that. That would be interesting.
And the Mavic too.
Was there was that's right. There was a Mavic 3. Whose Mavic 3 was that?
I don't know, but I don't think he owns one. I think it was borrowed. Had to be like a loaner from someone as well.
Oh shit. Well, that sucks. That was
terrible situation to be in.
But that's the thing. Like I've had red cameras on my drones. I've had all sorts of expensive, and knock on wood, I've never I've not put them in a situation where I felt like they were going to crash. I had the Mavic on the FPV drone in a controlled situation. But again, if I would have felt like it was interfering with my controls in any way, I probably would not have flown. You just don't do, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. People will keep making excuses to support that stupidity.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just thought that was funny as shit.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what the fuck are you going to do? My drone still works. I'm going to go fly the Mavic 3 tomorrow.
It's funny. I always say there's a major like shit event that happens at least quarterly in the drone space. And
quarterly. Like one of us are good for some sort of stupid thing.
Yeah.
Quarterly.
That filled the bucket for Q1. I was getting worried because we're approaching the end of March.
Yeah, Q1 that just filled the bucket. Well, let me tell you though, he's got Q4 filled for last year, and he's got Q1, so he went back to back.
Oh yeah, he's winning. He's in the right trajectory.
He's in the lead for shit shows. This going. He had Q4 and Q1. I don't even know who fucked up Q3 of last year, but
probably Drone X Factor.
Drone X Factor?
Maybe. That's just
he's good for a headline. He's good for a headline or two.
He's good for once a year. He always takes one. He takes a quarter usually.
Yeah, but it's like he does of all the people that deal with controversy around drones, I think Xavier brushes it off the best. Like, does he not brush controversy off better than anybody? Yeah. Nothing looks like it shakes him when he knows shit's fucking hitting the fan. He just like, I'm going to Guam.
To give Xavier recognition, he, out of all the stuff that he did, right, and he does, I think about his broadcast in CBS with the COVID task force and all that. At the end of the day, the guy always wins. Bottom line,
he does, dude. He freaking wins, dude.
And he's more motivated. He has a bigger smile the next day, and then he's on to the next big stunt, the next big project.
I just can't do it. Like, I started thinking about, I'm like, there's easy ways to make content, right? Like there's definitely easy ways to make content and draw that viewer in. And like, I see those opportunities all the time. It's like, I stop and think, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to blow back on me bigly. This is going to be bad if I do it. And then I don't do it. Sometimes I film it, but I don't do it because I know if I do, shit's going to hit the fan and it's like, it's going to blow back on me tenfold. So I'm like, I don't do it.
Yeah, Xavier sees those and he's like, this is 200 more $1.
200 more $1. Yeah. Good guy,
Xavier.
Yeah, he is. He's funny dude, man. Funny
Yeah.
dude. I just can't. I can't. Couldn't get behind that, man. But all right, what is it? What are we at? We're at 9:55. Like Tom says, Xavier hustles his ass off. Yeah, he does, dude. That's one thing I'll give Xavier credit for. He does hustle.
Now
Hustles to the nines.
we have 5. I know we have a few minutes left.
Yeah, yeah.
AGO1 gimbals. You end of the day, you hated them. I
End
know
of the day.
last
So
thing we spoke about
here's
it.
my verdict. Here's the verdict. I don't like the AGO1 gimbals. I got to get rid of this thing.
More because of the radio itself. I know you said, the radio is big, it's bulky. It probably feels ancient to you coming from the Mambo.
Yeah. So I installed these gimbals. I just don't like the gimbals. Feel nice. Don't get me wrong. The AGO1 gimbals feel nice. They are the best feeling gimbals, like as far as solid, my problem is the size and the layout of this radio. I just don't like the radio. I've never liked this radio. I used it when this was all I had. Like when all I had to use was this, I used it, right?
Yeah.
So I like the Mambo. I like the Mambo for a couple of reasons. The Mambo is my go-to because it's easy to travel with. It is really easy to travel with because it's a little smaller, not quite as big, but also because the only switches, like, it's weird because I'm complaining about the Mambo switches because you have to desolder them. You can replace one by one. Doom Rider was telling me you can replace one by one, but you have to desolder and then solder them back on the board, or you can replace that whole switchboard. But the only switches you have on the Mambo are right here. So with that cover I have, it works really well at protecting it. I don't really worry about breaking them with that cover.
I see.
And it's just easier. But it's just like when I'm flying, I don't feel as confident with this that I do with the Mambo.
But yeah, you have to
So
stick with the Mambo then.
yeah, I got
I
to stick
mean,
with the Mambo. So I mean, at this point, here's the thing: like this radio has been sitting here. I have not used this radio, the TX16S, since I put these gimbals on, and before that, it sat for 7 months. 7 months it sat because that's when I got the. When did I get the Mambo? I got the Mambo
it came
7
out.
months ago, like
Yeah, when it came out.
June. I think I got it in June.
Yeah, because you had it for the Rhode Island meetup.
Yeah, so I had it for the Rhode Island meetup. I got this one. This one I've had since last year at some point, and we should give it away, right?
You're not gonna use it and you want to be Oprah again, go ahead.
Yeah, let's give it away. So how do we give this radio away? This is a TX16S. It's got the AGO1 gimbals. Pretty nice.
I mean, that's sick. I
It's
wish
pretty
I didn't.
sick.
I wish I didn't upgrade. I would have told you, Ken, send that radio over my way.
It's a brick though. So we
I
can do this. They'll have to get their own unit.
yeah.
They'll have to
Their
get their
own,
own little module, whether they use Crossfire or whatever. So who do we give it to, Eddie? Who
I
doesn't
think,
have a radio?
yeah, someone who doesn't have a radio, who's
Somebody that doesn't
definitely
have a radio.
invested in the FPV journey. They
They got to
want
be
to
invested
progress.
in the FPV journey.
Yeah.
I got to fucking take this sweater off. It's fucking hot. Wearing my purple shirt. Purple people eater.
Let's see. Let's see who's interested in the chat. If you're interested, drop a hammer or something, or the wrenches.
Yeah.
Let's see if you're interested. And that way we can make a
An educated decision.
Yeah, educated decision. One of the things that I hate about giveaways is when it goes to someone who has no interest in that. And they
Yeah,
know
like
they're
it
not
just
gonna
it
do
just goes to somebody that doesn't need it, or they just pop out of nowhere and they scoop it on somebody
Yeah.
who's been around for a while.
And worse is when you get free shit and then and then you sell it. I mean,
Yeah, that's the worst.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that one's the bad. That's bad. That's a bad
Guess
one.
everybody has a radio. Who has a crappy radio? Let's put it like that. Who's starting
Adrian
out?
says I had the TX16S already. Full voltage says the AGO ones are fresh.
AGO ones
No.
is.
I mean, they do. They feel good. It's just, but
It's
like
different.
overall, like for me, I need more than just gimbals to feel good about that shit.
Yeah.
Like I gotta feel good. Like it's got to be good. Aaron Allen's telling me to bring it to Dallas.
We have
John
flow.
K says he needs to replace his jumper T16.
Slow voltage says just gave my primary radio to my son. Would love a TX16.
Okay. So that's an option. I'm still reading.
B-Man doesn't need it. He just needs his ducks printed.
B-Man, you'll never get your ducks. Your ducks are dead to me. Your ducks are dead. I should send B-Man a fucking 3D printer.
And you gotta
that'll send him through a
US.
hole.
You gotta be in the US, right?
Yeah, gotta be the US. So if you're in the US, ACFPB says, I need one. Current one is giving issues. I always like to go to their channels too, you know?
Yeah.
You ever do that? You just like say, let me go to the channel. You just check it out.
Validate that they're uploading content, that they're active on the YouTube space.
Yeah, you always just check it out. I'm watching Casey. That location looks familiar as shit. He's got that juicy style too. Oh, this building is badass. I'm watching Casey's video right now.
He says he lives in California, Casey.
Okay. All right, Casey. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm gonna give you this radio. Just because I'm digging his style.
Cool. Oprah does it again.
Sick flow, man. Sick flow.
Oprah over at OriginaldoBo.
Dobra.
All
right, Casey. You shoot me a message. I think Casey's messaged me before on Instagram. So message me and it's yours, dude.
Congrats, Casey.
It's yours. I don't ever write off giveaways though. Aaron Allen says big write off. I haven't written off anything I give away. Maybe that is a miss, but I don't know. I'm not Lon says check under your seats for the winning ticket. All right, that's gonna do it for tonight, dude.
Good stream.
Yeah, good stream. Good way to close it out, man. Good way to close it out.
Yeah.
We'll leave the intros the same. We'll leave the outro the same. We're just going to change these interior graphics for this new thing. I don't know what we're going to call this. We'll call it something different. We don't ever title the streams Drone Brews anyways, right? That was just a formality.
Yeah.
So
now we're just doing the topic of discussion.
Yeah, topic of discussion, which is, yeah.
As long as we don't transition into a camp, I'm okay.
Into a camp?
A camp.
Is Paul streaming tonight? I didn't even check. Is he streaming?
If he is, why don't we give him one last hooray before we go on our vacation?
All right. Eddie, you talked me into it, Eddie.
I
don't know. I would think he is. Yep, he is. He's got Say Park on.
He has a guest, yeah. Do you really want to mess it up for him?
Fuck him up, boys. He's got 3 people watching. Just go ham.
When did he start streaming? Oh, he started streaming 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. You got to just go in and raid Paul's stream. Just one last time. Just one last time. Just 40, 50 of you, maybe 100 of you. You just go in there. It's funny to see the number go up. And ask Paul why he's so close to the camera. Just be like, "Hey, Paul, we love your video about your pole." More poll videos, Paul. He did a video the other day talking about how he hangs a backdrop up, and I said, Paul, I love the way you hang your pole.
Yeah, let's trigger him with the poll. Say,
all right,
I love your poll.
Seven watching.
You see that? He's not.
It's delayed, so I can't tell if he's figuring out what's happening here.
But I think when he sees one of, oh man, the chat is coming in heavy right now.
Chat is coming in so fast. 12 going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Come on.
Look at his
12.
face.
I'm refreshing 15.
Look at his face. He knows. He's like, oh fuck, my second.
He's like, fuck. Look at Kyle's like, shot to the heart.
Oh my god, I'm crying. This kills me every time.
Look at their faces. They just they know. Oh, 19. We went from 3 to 19 fast. 20 watching.
Oh my god,
the boost. The rate of the stream. This is like the reversal of Twitch stream. Like Twitch, you raid people's streams.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing.
I'm literally crying again. I always cry with this segment.
This makes me happy watching his stream get rated. Like, Say Park got the best scene though. He's just a talented individual.
I don't know. I don't know of him. I have to check him out.
Oh, he's great. He's great. He's a great guy. But Paul's just like,
Paul's like sub guy. So he just acknowledged everybody.
Kyle's like, I'm just gonna have another beer right now. I'm having another beer right now. Oh shit. That's funny.
They're probably DMing each other.
I want to see this stream. I want to see his stream reach 30. That would be an epic number to see his stream hit 30 concurrent viewers.
They just told him to swallow the mic without our discretion.
I did not say that. We didn't tell anybody to tell him that. That is all on the chat. We didn't do none of it.
Nope. We sure did not. Oh, multiple. Shit. Eat the mic. Wow.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Paul, I'm sorry. I had nothing to do with that, Paul. He'll watch this back and he'll be like, what moment did this actually occur?
Yeah. Look at his face. It's priceless. He just said, "What's up, Fly Zone?" And he's like, "Oh shit, they're coming. They're coming.
They're coming hard, dude."
Oh man. Look at his face. His face tells the whole story. He's puzzled.
He's fucking frozen. Oh shit. Oh, that makes my night. That makes my night. You know, it's the little things. It's the little things. Not all heroes wear capes, Eddie.
Yeah. Paul is a good guy.
That was a good stream. That was good. I like doing that. All right, Eddie. You want to end it for us tonight, dude? Now that you're crying over there?
Yeah, I'm literally crying. I always cry with the Paul.
You're like literally, you have tears coming down your face, dude. It's freaking
hilarious. It's hilarious.
You're sick. You're sick. All right. Sign us out.
Let me press the button here.
Press the button.
I think I pressed it.
Did you press it?
I think so.
Okay, let me see.
I'll just get out my head and focus on what I know's coming. Yeah. Cause I can't fall asleep at night without seeing my dreams. Delusion and reality, I'm somewhere in between. These voices in my head get loud and they keep telling me that I'm a fool for trusting in these wings. But maybe, baby, this what flying feels like. 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 Yeah. Maybe all my exes just drinking themselves crazy tonight. Maybe I should call and say, told you I'd be right. Wondering how long it was before you realized the biggest mistake of your life, and now you're paying the price. Oh, is it confidence or confusion? Either way, I feel like I ain't never losing. Your opinion of me, you know just what I'm choosing. I gotta do this, cause I can't fall asleep at night without seeing my dreams.
Good, dude.
Good stream.
Yeah, we gotta come up with a new thing though. What do you want to call it, dude? I'm looking at these new backgrounds they added. Well, this one's festive. What about this one? I don't like that one. Oh, it moves, dude. Do you see that? It moves.
Pretty cool, actually.
That is pretty cool. That's trippy. What do we want to call the new stream though? We don't have a plan.
No, we'll have to think about it. I think we need a break. A break. Just
break. We need a break, like a brain break.
Yeah, to think about it and figure out what we want to do next.
What if we call it swollen battery?
Swollen battery?
Swollen battery. Or last pack. Oh, last pack. I like it. Last pack. Last pack.
Last pack sounds catchy.
You never say last pack. I like it.
Yeah, it's bad juju.
Yeah, but like last pack of the night, last pack. It could be like multitude of things like last pack. I like it.
That's true. I like it. That's doable.
Or what if we call it Wednesday Night Live? WNL.
I like that.
You like that?
I like that.
I think WNL looks good. And then I have a bird, and it doesn't deliver babies. It makes babies.
And then maybe we can show it.
The bird.
Demonstrate.
The bird. Yeah, we can demonstrate. Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll do Wednesday Night Live, and we'll call it WNL. And if anybody asks, it'll also be called Women's Night Live. Women's Night Live. We want to approach the ladies too, so we want it to be universal.
Yeah. It'll be cool if the whatever we do next, we can invite more women onto the stream.
I agree.
It'll be more entertainment.
I mean, the first thing I'm going to do when we're going to invite these women, we'll ask Billy to come on. You missed it. You missed the joke, Ed. You missed the joke, Ed. God, I can't with you.
I got it late.
You got it late. It got there, but it got there late.
Yeah.
All right.
I had to think about that.
I think we had a good idea. I think it was good, dude. Just give us like 3 weeks just to mentally recoup,
Yeah. And
we'll brainstorm. We'll really plan though this time. We're going to have a plan. We're not going to wing it. We're not going to fly by the seat of our pants. It's going to be a well-prepared 1 hour long special.
Yeah, well, it'll be interactive. We should ramp up the Discord server as well to keep.
Yeah, we need to get the
engaged.
Discord server. Discord server's got to come back. Can you rename a Discord server?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Find out. I'll have to find out. I don't know if you can.
Should be able to.
It almost seems like it's more work to rename this. I've got an idea.
What's that?
I've got an amazing name. BREW. Drone Brews. See, what I'm doing is I'm just pronouncing it different. Drone Brews. It's like French. I think it sounds good.
Yeah.
I like it. It's fresh. It's clean. Drone Brews. It's French. Fucking French.
Let's do it.